When Democrats screw up, they can always rely on their fake news friends to assist with damage control. Let's unwrap this and more in this week's Media Madness. Joining us now is former Trump special advisor and the author of Time to Choose, Catalina Lauf. Also with us, Turning Point USA contributor Anthony Watson. Also with us, the host of Unshakable with April Chapman and Project 121 ambassador. Thank you so much for joining us. So Catalina, let's start off with you. Mikey Sherrill, New Jersey governor, revealing that her state mistakenly registered 6,600 non-citizens to vote. CNN's Abby Phillip downplaying the significance. Take a look.
They might have cast a ballot because they just weren't aware that they were incorrectly put on the voter roll.
They weren't aware that they weren't a citizen of the United States?
No,
they said in this instance that they weren't citizens. They were still registered.
Is this accurately described as fraud when none of these people tried to register to vote?
Yes, they cast ballots. 400 of them cast ballots. They had to actively go do that.
Catalina, why do they act like they have to play cover for the Democrat Party?
Because they've been carrying water for them for decades now, and it's so sickening. You know, I remember during the 2020 election when the left-wing liberal media would not acknowledge at all people voting that should not be in this country. And this is exactly why we need to pass the Save America Act, because this has been going on in our country. Elections have been stolen for a long time in different cities, different states, and it's time that we have something passed where only legal American citizens can vote in our elections. 83% of Americans want it, and it's exactly because of instances like this. It's real. Fraud is real. It's out there, and it's time that we need to change it, because the media clearly will not acknowledge it, and they'll be carrying water for the Democrats that want all these illegal people voting in our elections.
Now, Joy Reid, she's still trying to be relevant. And here's what she said about Jewish Americans. Listen to this.
I can assure you, I am here in Harlem right now. Jewish people are perfectly safe walking the streets of the United States. But Netanyahu has made folks a lot less safe because people keep attaching all Jewish people to his genocidal policies. And that is the problem. It's that he's creating a world in which people blame ordinary, regular, nice Jewish people who didn't do anything for everything Israel does.
And then April, a Jewish New Yorker was stabbed in a hate crime, less than like 24 hours. I mean, and we're seeing anti-Semitic incidents rising all over the country, especially right here in New York City. So what do you make of Joy Reid's comment there?
You know, this isn't really about Joy Reid, and let's just be honest, she's really not that relevant anyway. This is a credibility problem. The problem isn't that Joy changed her opinion. The problem is that the media, particularly the left media, they are always changing the facts to fit whatever political narrative that they need that week. So here's the thing. If America is supposedly this fascist nightmare, then why admit that Jewish Americans are safe when we know that's not true? You just spouted off an incident that just happened. It's infiltrated our institutions of higher learning. It is clear that Jewish Americans are not safe because of the rise of anti-Semitism. So my thing is, Joy, pick a struggle. Either America is systemically oppressive or it's not. And it's funny to hear a descendant of African immigrants lecture America on how systemically oppressive it is when there's no other country on the planet where she could come, be educated, garner a media career, suck horribly at it, and still be paid millions of dollars. I'm like, go America at this point.
And Anthony, let's go to Sour Lemon. Hunter Biden, the former first son, again, another guy trying to be relevant. He unleashed a vulgar tirade aimed at CNN's Jake Tapper, all because he wrote a book about his dad, Joe. Listen to this.
I think that Jake is a complete and utter. I think that he is. I think that he is a really poor journalist, and beyond that, I don't think he's a very decent human being. I think he's full of. That's what I think.
You think Jake Tapper's full of?
I think he is the Brick Tamlin of his generation.
You know, he's talking about the anchor man. Anthony, what do you think?
Well, I think Hunter Biden made more sense when he was on meth, because now that he's sober, he can't string a sentence together. But this has been the play and tactics of every single person that's been out there. You know, they love these people when they support them to get what they want. Now that they come out there and say anything negative against them, it's the tactic of the left. It's like, if you're not for us, then get out the way. And if you say anything negative about us, then now it's time for us to attack you on all cylinders. And at the end of the day, he ain't really saying anything. He just says, I don't like the guy. This is the equivalent to like a 6-year-old who like gets hit by somebody and they just run back scrying, creaming and scrying, saying like, this person's mean and they hurt my feelings. At the end of the day, Hunter Biden is an adult man that made adult decisions that now has to face adult consequences. And because people are now making cases that actually prove everything that we were saying from the sobriety of reason on our side, now all of a sudden it's a problem.
Great points. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, how do you go from this
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
to this?
Christianity is not just one religion amongst many. It's the most coherent explanation of who God is.